So, guys, Bungie is just not doing too good, huh? Recently, we've kind of found out some pretty drastic news about the studio and things that have been happening, and I'm kind of here to talk about it a little bit today. There was been articles coming out about the game in general, just because playtest didn't really do all that well. The game in general just kind of feels a little lackluster. It just kind of feels like it needs more time to cook in the oven. But here we are, and basically what happened was the most recent thing was somebody on Twitter who is an artist basically put up his artwork or her artwork, but I don't remember who it was, back in 2017, right? So basically what happened was they put it up, cool beans, somehow that ended up in a previous Bungie employee's files or something like that. And then when they saw the artwork for that, they made the whole game's art style pretty much around it. So they ended up plagiarizing basically this person's work. And it wasn't even just like a little bit, it was like sentences on the artwork itself was in the game exactly how it was. It was kind of insane. It wasn't even just like it was very similar, it was like almost exactly the same thing, with even the same words, just slightly scratched up, so it looks like, maybe like the planet had like, rain and like, sediment and other things like hit it and scratch off some of the words and stuff, which that would be cool. It just wasn't plagiarized. So, the funny part about that is that, in their recent live stream, which was also a disaster, they basically couldn't really like talk too much about what happened, but they tried to be like, hey, sorry guys, it wasn't really our fault, this is just like what we know, sorry, and then everyone in chat was saying basically the motto of the game, but in a different way. The motto of the game was escape will make me God, which is it sounds cool. Like that's actually a kind of cool concept of like you're going to become more powerful the more you escape, right? And so cool. That's a pretty good, like they're good at marketing, right? Bungie's good at marketing. But everyone in chat just started putting plagiarism will make me God. So who knows however much else there actually is that's being plagiarized in the game. So currently they've kind of taken a step back. I think there's going to be a delay coming here pretty soon, and I don't even know if that delay is really going to do all that much. I mean, they're going to have to really revamp the style, or at least remove all the textures and all the art that was used, or they need to pay the artist. Either way, however it goes, but either way, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that today. So with that being said, when I originally put out another video called We Were Wrong About Marathon, I really kind of had better hopes for the studio, but I think in recent years how things have changed internally there, I think we've lost the original studio's hope and amazing quality in the games that they made. You can see that in every single Halo game they've ever touched. In Destiny, even Destiny's expansions, in Destiny 1 I should say, and even in some of Destiny 2's expansions, they cooked and they did really good with them. And there's been times where they haven't, but I could tell the studio was going the wrong direction. And it's one of those things where you support a studio because you at least loved the idea or like who they could be, what they could make. And dude, I've been watching them for so long, and to switch your motto from being we make the games we want to play to something about making worlds where you and your friends can have experiences, that is the stupidest thing they could have switched it to. They should have stuck with they wanted to play the game that they were making. It should have stayed that way. Because if you can't even want to play the game that you're making, how are we going to want to? That's how you know for a fact that your game will actually inspire people to play it, that people will be interested in it, is if you yourself are interested in it. And I think when I originally saw, that they wanted to make another pass into a different genre, because they've done it before with first-person shooters, and they re-evolutionized that. That was back in the day. That was different devs. Almost all of those devs are gone. This is a completely different studio. This is a completely different Bungie. And so at this point, I think what we have is just a reminiscence of what was. And I feel bad, to say that everything comes to an end eventually, but it's true. And so I think at this point in time, guys, I don't know if I will ever support Bungie in what they're doing now anymore. I was already kind of done with Destiny 2 with the final shape. I've been playing it for 10 years. You know, I know there's more story to go, but I just can't pull myself to do it and to support the studio that doesn't know how to support themselves. It doesn't know how to create the things that they actually want to play themselves. You know, a studio that doesn't know how to push its boundaries anymore. And so, with that being said, it was a pretty short video today, but I think most people would agree with me. I think Bungie's kind of screwed, man. I think they're going to get bought out by Sony, and as much as I don't really want that for them, I think this is kind of the hole they've dug themselves into. And without the proper care in making sure not only that employees are happy, but also doing something that feels great to them, that they enjoy, that would be more content than normal, that would be not just drip feeding things, I think we're just out of luck now. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Probably be an ABI video or something, or maybe go back to Delta Force. We'll see. You know, I've been hearing some at least decent changes over there. So, anyways, what was that last thing I needed to say? Oh, that's right.
Let us pray.